continued. So the whirlwinds of smooth whirlwinds. Okay. And now we were cooking. Cooking always presented a big problem. One of the next lessons that came was yes, no, I don't know. But actually it started out as no talking at all. But then you could write down yes, no, I don't know. The reason for this, well, the reason for smooth whirlwind was to challenge us with having different partners. That'd be like marrying somebody different, every day, but not having sex with them and trying to work out your problems. The problems that you had were cleaning, cooking, setting up the tent, dealing with the weather, gathering firewood, going to town and buying groceries, because you were with that person all the time, and talking with them and talking about the next level with them, but not having really discussion groups or anything like that, or discussions one-on-one, not talking about the past at all, checking each other so that we're not talking about the past. If someone starts to tell a story, when I was doing this, which naturally happens, and did happen, and I did it too, and maybe everybody did it a little bit, but the partner was responsible to say, I thought the procedure was to not talk about the past. Because as soon as someone starts talking about the past, then they're going to want to talk about the past. Instead of not talk about it, but they're going to start referring to their own experience related to what they're talking about. So all of a sudden now, there's more people. So when it says we were raptured, you're pulled out of the world, it's a literal pulling out of the world by body and mind. You can't have one without the other when the next level is concerned. Because the next level is trying to build your soul. And the way you build your soul is by taking the instructions that are given to you by the older members as 100% what you want to shoot for. And being a zealot for those instructions. Not for the other people following those instructions, except when it takes away from you. That's why you have to hate anything that would take you away from the next level. So even if that was your parents, if your parents wanted you to come back and leave your focus with the next level, well, they're working against your getting to the next level, your graduation, your being born into a new kingdom level, your total evolution to the future, the only real future that exists for the human kingdom. There's no future in technology except for what we see, which doesn't hardly extend our lives. And even if it did extend our lives for how we're eventually going to be machines that are keeping the brain is staying alive, well, I guess that's possible. I guess that's possible to, as long as you're feeding the brain what it needs, nutrients, maybe it'll work good. But the next level may have an interest in not letting the technology go that far. See, even if that was possible to actually keep on evolving to where our technology actually, even biologically, got to the same place as where the next level has, where they can grow humanoid-looking vehicles on a vine through photosynthesis, and then the power system for them didn't have to be food anymore. It could be just a very condensed soul package of programs that are programs on everything. Because Tiendo told us to actually use our minds to even think about walking and talking. That's why we had lessons when we were in homes of closing the doors all very softly, not making any sound at all, walking up steps that you couldn't even be heard. Okay, being exercising our mind to actually run that vehicle. Because imagine if you're in a vehicle that is that sensitive to instructions that then your mind could tell it what to do. It wouldn't need the muscles to be twitched in order to move about. It would just be the electric current moving the legs, moving the arms, or the current being directed in what direction it was going to go in, like a dancer. So it didn't need to be made graceful. It was automatically graceful because it was working on such minute, I don't know, I can just picture it. It's just an amazing picture. And basically there is a picture of what these next level members look like on somebody's site. I know I've seen them in XF Checker, his videos. And I'll make sure I post it on my various places that I can. It was on one of my videos too, I believe. One of my early videos where I just put the type on the screen. So smooth whirlwind was the one of the biggest tests that came along, of course, along with thinking about influences and all that. And then and then changing partners. And then the next one was yes, no, I don't know, basically, which started, like I said, started with silence, having no talking at all, and being able to communicate with your partner to get things done. How'd you do that? Well, a little bit of hand motions, like if you were cooking, you'd be watching what the partner was doing. You'd always be in eye shot of each other. Because this was our task, to do everything together. But we weren't going to all both sit and use the spatula together. That would be an extreme. They'll both hold the handle. No, we were working as check partners, like pilot and co-pilot. So if they add a little salt, if they were a proper check partner, they were adding an ingredient to an experiment. That's the teaching that came in later when they made this into a program, into the Neutral Lab. Everything became an experiment. But before that, it started out as just being with your partner in the campground, in the tent, making you food. But you have to decide on what to eat. So how do you do that? Well, you hold up the thing. Because the lesson wasn't not to communicate. The lesson was to not use words. To learn to use our mind. And you learn to use your mind by not using words. And yes, you might use more facial expressions, but then they, after a short time of that, maybe even a couple of days only, they changed it to where if you were really in a bind, you could just write down a couple keywords. And then they said, after that was a few days or whatever, they got feedback on things, and so they started to change it. See, that's the next level member. It doesn't just make a rule and then just not ever change any aspect of it. That's what the church, that's what the religions do. But they shouldn't change it, the religions, because they don't know how to change it. But they can take a chance on a positive, like to abolish the death penalty for certain offenses, because there were certain conditions to where the kingdom of God had humans kill humans, like in the Moses time, right? But then, Moses was physically present with them. I don't know if before Moses left, he said, don't do that again. But I think he hated it. He hated doing that. And I don't think he knew whether that his older member approved of that or not. His older member may not have approved of that. He may have made a mistake. But like he said, because of the hardness of the hearts of the people, they were going to do it anyway. They did. So what Moses did is said, okay, if you're going to do it anyway, go out and kill people, because the first killing and invading the people that were around them that they wanted to move through or to have the goods of, I don't know if that was part of it, because those people were, I'm sure, ravenous for the things that they didn't have. Especially after the meat ran out, they were living on manna. And they wanted pheasant, and a bunch of them died because they crammed so much pheasant into their bodies. And who knows, they probably ate it until it was rotten, and that probably killed a bunch of them. Next level didn't kill them. They killed themselves. What I'm saying is that Moses went out and he said, attack only when I raise my staff. then fight. He didn't say attack, he said fight only when I raise my staff. And they disobeyed that, and when they fought, when the staff was down, they lost. They must have been no match for these other people. And but then when Moses raised his staff, I bet you there was a legion of angels down there, invisible next level members, that were there that just distracted the others so they were able to kill them. Because to be honest, the next level saw them as plants. Just because they walked around didn't make them much more valuable than plants. If they weren't given any next level opportunity, if they never even asked for a next level opportunity, if they never wanted a next level opportunity, if they were never in a situation to where they started communicating with God, if they were, then God would have led them away from that group. Or even if they were, if the next level saw that they really didn't exactly deserve to be killed, then the next level would have taken that spear and given it a new opportunity.